Hey everybody, this is the Eternal Skull, and welcome back to Let's Play Overviews, where we take views of the LP world and tear them apart piece by piece. I have a new guest with me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's BowBlax. Hello, guys.
Alright, and today we're actually going to be talking about something that sits outside of YouTube Let's Plays as a whole. We're actually going to be going over partnerships. Now, you're a partner yourself, correct?
Yes.
Alright, so that makes it easy. Essentially, for anyone who doesn't know, a partner is, as the name implies, partnered with YouTube or one of the groups that within YouTube that get paid for their productions. They get paid for views, likes, shares, etc., 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 and they get a certain amount of money based on how many views that they get.
Yeah.
So, how does it work for you? Are you partnered with YouTube themselves, or are you partnered with a network?
I have to be partnered with another network since I'm a Let's Player and I make gaming videos, and YouTube doesn't support that. So if you're making those type of things, you have to go with a separate network.
Right. So anyone who does a Let's Play, anyone who does stuff like what we do, you're gonna have to go with someone like the Game Station, Machinima, Yoush, just to name a few. You're gonna have to go with them because YouTube, even with AdSense, they won't allow you to use it at all.
Yeah. There's also this weird thing that YouTube's done, like with the where you can like get a bit of money off your videos, but you have to go like through an AdSense thing, and it's too complicated. And I don't recommend you doing that. I just recommend getting the full thing.
Yeah, I've used the AdSense myself. The way that works is that it's like a partnership where you will get paid based on the amount of views that you get. The problem with that is that they only pay in $100 increments, and if you get hit with a strike or anything like that, it will go away, and they can block it at any time that they like. That's what happened to me. Now, you didn't have the AdSense beforehand, did you?
I actually did for a bit, but then I took it away because with AdSense you have to handle it yourself, and that's kind of like stressful and stuff, especially when I'm trying to make videos. But with your partnership, they deal with all the money, so it's basically just like having a channel without AdSense. But then the network provides all the handling of the money and stuff. So. Yeah.
Right, which helps out a lot. There are also rumors going around that if you have your AdSense disabled, you cannot become a partner. I believe that only applies for YouTube themselves. If anyone knows the answer, if you do, or if anyone in the comments does, let me know.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly how that works. Now, everyone seems to have this view of partnerships. What do you think about that?
Like, people kind of view it, in my opinion, like how I viewed it, is like, if their partnership, basically, you're the cool person of YouTube. Like, without it, you're kind of like the noob. You don't, like, get your videos that high up in the search bar. You don't get, like, the special privileges, and then you, like, look up to the people with partnerships. And that's pretty much what it feels like. But actually, when you get down to it, partnerships kind of like, it has its disadvantages to not having partnership, and disadvantages. Like, the advantages is, and getting banners and stuff and all that, but then and getting money, but the disadvantages is like dealing with the network, negotiating the money out and stuff, and it's more business-like. So, like, if you have to be like prepared with your YouTube channel to kind of make it sort of semi-business-like to actually get the partnership. You have to be like responsible enough. Not just, like, do whatever, because if you delete the channel or, like, you don't upload videos, it's a problem for the network as well as yourself.
Right, so essentially, I guess from the way that I'm interpreting it, is that if you're serious about making videos, if you're serious about Let's Plays, even making videos like these in general, you do have to be prepared to look at it more as a business sense rather than just, like, a hobby.
Yeah, but overall it is a hobby, like, you know. It never really takes away the feeling of it. It's just like, your videos don't change in general. It's just like the back stuff, like the management of the channel that really changes, not really the videos in general.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I've noticed that a lot of people's production values tend to go up when they're partnered because, based on what I've seen, they have this idea of quality that they want to maintain, which I think is a good way to do it because you have that self-set quality that you want to maintain. It's like, okay, I don't have to do this because the network wants me to. I want to make my videos better because I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing I have noticed, just because you are a partner does not mean your videos go higher in the search. I actually, just for the heck of it, I went searching for a couple of my videos, and they came up with pretty much in the first 5, depending on how it's all about how you type them in.
Yeah, it really depends mostly on your tags. Like,
Right.
getting partner does boost it up more. Like, if you don't search your name, like, you search, say, 3DS Let's Play, someone partnered would come up before, like, someone that isn't partnered. If it's, like, the exact same things and the exact tags and it's, like, similar, the partnered person would come up before the, lower people.
And again, that's all business side of things. It's not something that you can help, short of finding the perfect tags that go with your name.
It all depends what people type into the search bar, really. When you
exactly. So tags are more important. Partnerships, again, they're good to have, but they can be stressful from the way you make it sound. And I've talked to a couple of other people that say the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, I guess what I would want to ask, just from a perspective of someone who isn't a partner. Do you see anyone who is a partner, like the more well-known Let's Players or anything like that, do you see them responding to someone like you more often, or would you see them just not really that much different in general?
You mean like a sense of respect because you're partner?
Well, I mean kind of like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot here for a second. I've sent out requests for a couple of big-name LPers to join me here. Obviously, where this channel is not very well-known, they aren't responding. Do you think that if it was sent under your name, it would be different? I guess is the best way to put it.
It's really, okay. This really depends on how much subscribers and stuff you have, because people like that get a lot of messages and subscribers and requests and stuff, and they can't really reply to all of them. It really depends what the person is, if they try to, if they leave it alone, if they get it. It really depends how many subscribers they have and how they are dedicated to it. Like, because sometimes you don't always have time to, like, look in your inbox and stuff, especially if you have a lot of messages. Me, personally, I don't get that many. I, like, reply to pretty much all of them. But for other people, it depends how much time they have on the internet, how much subscribers they have, how many messages they get. It really all depends on that, so don't take it personally.
So I guess using myself as an example, that really proves a point that I've been trying to make to a lot of people. Just because you're partner doesn't mean the bigger names will respond to you. It's all about, it's their lives mixed with a bunch of different factors. So that's something that I've also seen, that someone goes, hey, I'm partnered, can you talk to me now? It's just almost like a sense of entitlement I've noticed for a lot of people.
It doesn't really make a difference for, like, replying to messages and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
So...
Like, maybe, like, okay, if you see someone partner with, like, not that many subs, not that many views, and you don't really like the quality that much, like, some people with less subs have good quality, but I'm talking, like, someone with bad quality is, like, somehow partnered or something, and then there's someone with, like, more feedback and, like, more of a following and better. Well, not really following in general, but just, like, better. The people will... It doesn't matter if you're partnered or not. They'll want to talk to you and be with you if you are a better Let's Player in general, or have a bigger following or something, or whatever.
No, that does make sense.
And just other factors besides
I've noticed now that YouTube is now making anyone who has a new channel, they're immediately partnered. I don't get why they're doing this. This channel, actually, oddly enough, is partnered, and I can see, for some people like Let's Players, that's going to cause you trouble, because you can use that, some people will try to use that as a crutch, saying, oh, hey, I'm partnered, and I only have, 100 subs, I must be awesome, when in reality, it's just YouTube trying to change the system, and I see partnerships, I guess, in my opinion, based on what I've worked on and what I've seen. A partnership is something that you earn, rather than something that you just apply for. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I do feel the same way. Like, some partnership, like, you just do what you do, and then partnership's just like a little boost of help, like, along the way in your Let's Play. You should never put your direct goal on getting partnered or whatever. It's just like a little reward, like...
Right. I mean, that's the main fundamental for anything. You do it because you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it and you do it long enough and you do it well enough, the entitlement and the money is all going to follow. So, I've said this to a bunch of people. If you want to be partnered, if that is your end goal, good for you. But don't expect it. Do things because you want to do them, not because it's your end goal. And I've said that to many LPers and people who make other videos the like. It's one of those things.
Yeah, you can't really treat, like, Let's Playing in partnership like you would a real application in life, like for getting a job. You can't really expect it to be that way. especially since like YouTube is a hobby and stuff. Like some people like live off YouTube, but those are like because even if your partner, the money comes from the views. Like if you have a lot of views, you get more money. Like people who have way more subscribers than me get way more money than me, even though if we were partnered with the same network. It really depends on how much you get and stuff. So even if you do get partnered, you probably won't get that much if you're lesser known. So probably getting more well-known without a partnership is better than getting not well-known with the partnership. If you know
I've used this analogy before. YouTube and making videos as a whole is kind of like being on TV, where is that you can be on a show that's extremely popular, and you'll get a ton of money for it because, you know, it's popular, the views come flying in. But a show that isn't popular, you won't get as much money for because it needs time to grow. It's the same basic fundamental. It's like working on anything in the video editing world, or even videos in general, is that everything takes time, and just having a partnership isn't going to boost that any faster.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, for example, if I made a TV show, if I put it on HBO, you know, they might throw it in a midnight slot because it's not a well-known thing, and I'm not a well-known person. Whereas if I was popular, they would put it on, you know, daytime television or whatever. It's just, that's how it works.
Yeah.
It's that you've got to, even going off topic for just a second here, with partnerships, with Let's Play, with anything, you've got to build yourself from the ground up, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And if you're not partnered and you don't really have that much of a following, it doesn't mean you're bad, it just means probably people are already watching other people who do the same thing as you.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to have their little, everyone's got to have their little, their push, their gimmick, I guess you could say, where, like, for example, mine is this. I do these videos for a reason, not to get partnered or anything like that, but as a fundamental thing. There's reasons for doing what you do.
Yeah.
And whereas being partnered might be your reason, you may want to rethink that depending on how it ends up for you.
Another thing you could go for instead of partnership, like instead of aiming your channel towards partnership, all you viewers and stuff and you could aim yourself towards being unique, because then people will have a reason to watch you over the people they already watch that don't have like that same feeling or thing. Like if you're good, but you're like the exact same as like say Chud Conroy or something, you won't get as much views because people are like, why would I watch you? I already have Chud Conroy, you know?
Exactly. That's the thing about with making videos with anybody. You've got to have some kind of flair to yours. Like if I made a video in the exact same function and the exact same design as NCS, obviously he's going to get more of the views than I did because people watch him and go, you know, why would I watch this kid who's just trying to do the same thing? Or, you know, why would I want to watch the same thing twice? I mean, there are people that will do that, but it goes off. I guess the basic point is that a partnership doesn't make the video maker. It's only a small part of you.
Yeah, and even if you can't think of anything you can come up with uniquely in your commentary, you could also try doing games that other people don't really know, but you know. You have to be comfortable with your game, of course, when you Let's Play. Like, say, I did, like, a Let's Play of a game that no one really did, and it got way more views than a game I like better, but, like, a lot of people did. So.
Right. I mean, that's also the other thing. There are many fundamentals, but that's a topic for a different day. The key point that I guess we're trying to make here is that if you're a partner, if you're not a partner, don't stress about it too much because it's not going to change too much if you are or you aren't.
Like, especially, like, over the years, partnership has lost its value, like, significantly.
Yeah, it's like I was saying before, where if you start up a new channel, you're immediately a YouTube partner, so
sometimes
it's like,
depends.
Sometimes, depending, but it's the same idea. It's like, you know, being a partner is great in theory, but when you get down to it, you're going to have to stop treating it, well, not really stop treating it like a hobby, but treating it more almost like a profession, especially as your name gets bigger. You got to look at it as kind of a more professional view, otherwise it's not going to work out well for you.
And then, like, instead of just having fun, you have to, like, watch what you say in your videos and, like, make sure they're, like, more consistent and better quality or something, because it's really going to affect a lot of your views.
I mean, I can see why you would think having... I mean, there are certain advantages, like if you're a partner and you get a decent amount of views, you might not live off the pay that you get for it, but you can use it to increase your quality. But even still, there's other ways around that without, you know, striving to become a partner just to make enough money to have a couple of videos that are good. So.
And you don't really get a lot of money from YouTube. Like, for example, I've been a partner since like September, and all all my views together, I've only made like around $25, so it's not really.
Yeah, I think when I last checked it, it was something like, if my memory serves correctly, it was about $5 for every 2,000 views, or something along those lines. And that's all. That's YouTube themselves. Different networks have different rates.
And it also depends what country you live in because of like currencies and stuff. Because I'm like in Canada, so it's like the dollars is kind of like different.
Yeah, you're
like I'd be getting like probably if I have 25 now, I'd probably have 30 if I lived in US.
Right. So you got to keep those in mind. That shouldn't be the key point though. If you are looking for a partnership like, I hate to say this, but Machinima or Yoush or the Game Station or any of those, don't just look at the amount that they'll pay you. Look at the communities themselves, because some people might be really comfortable where they are, others might hate it, and you've got to ask yourself, is the money worth, being miserable and being tied down or controlled or creatively bound or whatever the hell you want to call it.
I'm not familiar with any network, like how they control besides me, but like probably the more the more popular or like the more well-known partnerships also have like the more strict rules.
Right.
Stuff.
And I also know that some networks will actually reach out to you and ask if you want to be a partner. I guess the only advice that I would say, because I am not a partner, I am solo, I guess the best way to put it, always read the fine print. I have a buddy that did that. He went into a network that I'm not going to name, and he read the fine print, and they didn't do what they said they would, and he got really ticked off about it. So always read it and make sure you know what you're getting into, because that can also really fuck you over.
Yeah, don't scroll down like terms of use on like registering for a website or something. Just like pay attention to this, because it's like real money, real stuff you're dealing with. It's gonna not turn into like a hobby. Like consequences actually cost something, like copyright and all that. So you have to read all the fine print. Especially with copyright, and because some people put like music in their videos. Like music, it's a big deal in partnership. So
yeah, it's a big deal in general. But like, I'm going to use this example again. The buddy of mine, I think they said something about because he was part of this network, they actually claimed to own his videos, and it said so in the contract. So that's another thing. Like, depending on who you go with, depending on how they work, I don't know if this is true for everybody, but you can actually screw yourself over really bad because they can claim to be the owner of your videos, and if you sign it, that's a deal that dripped in blood. You are owned by them. So
yeah,
I guess from a non-partner perspective, I can only say check around, see what your friends have to say. If you've got friends who are partnered, if you've got people that you know who are partnered, check out who they're with. Because I also know that other networks have different conditions for joining them. So it's really check who you're with, check their conditions, check your conditions. You can see it yourself and go, okay, this network requires 1,000 subs, an X amount of views per week, and I have that, but their contract says that I have to give up all rights to my videos. Do I want that?
Yeah, because they do. Most partnerships do have a certain control over your videos, except for YouTube directly. I don't think, but
I think YouTube still has a certain amount of control because of the copyrights. But that's the same for everything. Copyright is a huge deal. So
yeah, it is. Don't just take it lightly. It's like the law. And
it is, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that it's like working for a company. From what I've seen, is that when you're a partner, you are a part of a company. If you fuck up, if you break their rules, if you badmouth them and talk back to them, you're going to pay the consequences for it. And it might not be that severe. It might be extensively severe. So it's all comes down to read the fine print, and that really being a partner may not be all that it's cocked up to be.
Also, make sure different companies are located in different countries. Like, if you're live in say United Kingdom and you go with Machinima or something, they might be located in America. You have to be acquainted with the American the American law, because they run off the American law, not the British law.
UK. Yeah, and their rules with not piracy, I'm thinking of something else. The rules with copyright and all of that might be different, so be very careful.
Yeah, because it's different.
Yeah, it can definitely cost you. But again, as a whole, being a partner is good because you can, in theory, make a living off of it if you do it for long enough. It's good because you've got a community that you can engage with, and you have other people that do the same thing that you do. But it's also not so good because you can theoretically screw yourself over, or you might lose creative control. You might be bound. It's a bunch of different things. So I guess that's pretty much everything that's pretty much hitting the nail on the head. I thank you for coming on with me and discussing this.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
I learned a bit by myself. As always, there will be links in the description because YouTube doesn't allow me to put annotations to Twitter and everything like that outside of the video.
Oh yeah, that's something they really should add, but yeah.
They have it, but only for certain people, it seems. Anyway, again, both of the links to YouTube and Twitter for BowBlax will be in the description, as well as mine for my other channel that I do the Let's Plays on. If you guys have anything that you want to discuss or any questions, leave them in a comment on this video. Don't go bugging him on his because he probably wouldn't like me very much after that. And if you have anybody else that you want to see or any topics that you want to hear discussed, let me know. I will try my hardest to get anyone that I can within reason. So that's pretty much it. Again, thank you for coming on. Are there any last words that you want to say?
Be careful with partnership. But besides that, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, that's a good rule to live by. And I will see you guys later. Hope you had a great day, and hope you enjoyed this.
Bye.